People get ready, for the train is coming. Don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. Don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. Welcome, viewing audience and listening audience, to the People Get Ready podcast with the political guru, the legendary political guru, Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr. from Bibb's Record Shop. Today, we will begin our program with the two famous quotes from Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And the first one is, there comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe nor politic, nor popular, but he must take it because conscience tells him it is right. The second one is, it may be that we will have to repent in this generation, not merely for the erotic words and violent actions of the bad people, but for the appalling silence and indifference of the good people who sit around and say, wait on time. And we know those words are so relevant in today's time because we have situations happening in our own community today. Just happened a few days ago with the closing of the St. Vincent Charity Hospitals, where we need our political peoples to come out and stand up against this closing of St. Vincent Charity Hospital, and also the laying off of the University Hospital is laying off a lot of people, and we need our civic leaders and our political leaders to stand up against this kind of action. And also today, we want to remind you, those of you who say to yourself, I need a business that I want to begin. So you have an opportunity today to begin with the Bibb Business Mall Grand Opening. The Bibb Business Mall Grand Opening, and you can begin that with Snap Delivery. Snap Delivery has an opportunity for you. If you have a business in the United States, you can have this opportunity with the Employees Retention Tax Credit Program. The Employee Retention Tax Credit Program, also the ERC, the refund, they have an opportunity for you to get $1.9 trillion they have in their coffer. And we can get that money if you have a business in the United States. You can receive up to $26,000 per W-2 employee. That's $26,000. The U.S. government is offering this to, if you have a business in the United States, and also if you have a nonprofit organization, you qualify for the federal tax refund check. So all you have to do is join up with Snap Delivery for free. Did I say free? Yes. You can join up with Snap Delivery for free today. You can call Mr. Bibbs right now at this number, 216-681-1469, and get more information. You can also call his office at 216-659-4619 and get the information that you need to get started today. And we're going to start our program off today. We have some hot breaking news, some good information, as we always bring to you each and every Wednesday on the People Get Ready podcast. And here he is today, the principal president and CEO of People Get Ready podcast, the man himself, Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr. Take it away, Mr. Bibbs.
Thank you, Reverend Ben Fair. That's an awesome introduction and one of the best promotions of the SNAP Delivery and the EC plan to get that $26,000 that I heard. And you're getting better and better every week.
Thank you, Mr. Bibb.
And hope we don't lose you, Reverend Ben Fair, to NBC or CNN or any of those.
All right.
Thank you very kindly.
Yes, sir.
And like Reverend Ben Fair said, we're touching a lot of bases today and from Kathy Hughes, who own all those radio stations and TV stations and all that. We're going to empower you, inform you by empowering you and informing you.
Yes.
So we're going to start off with a heavy hitter coming up. I want to thank Dr. Gwen Jarvis for coming on board and bringing us right down front with the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office. Dr. Gwen Jarvis, would you take it over, please?
Okay. Thanks for the opportunity of being a part of People Get Ready. And then we all can relate to these poems of Dr. Martin Luther King today.
Yes.
All right. I had the opportunity last week of attending the event that was held at Olivet Institutional Baptist Church when they had a panel there talking about bind over, how students, I think from the age of 14 or 16, how they're bind over into the adult system. And it was just really appalling to hear that something like this is taking place across the country. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it, we have a large amount of students, young people who are being housed, I don't like to say the word incarcerated, with adults. There was a young man who was there who was one of our first ones to be bind over, and he told us his journey that he went through, but how he felt like his time of being incarcerated with adults is that they shield him so that he would be guided in the right way, and how he has become a success story. So he's a success story, so I know that many others can be success stories, and we can kind of maneuver and make a balanced thing about this the bind over. It was well attended, and the pastor COVID, who is the pastor of Olivet Institution Baptist Church, you know how when you go places and they tell you everybody stand up and clap? Okay. Well, he mentioned different things to have folks to stand up. He says, who in here has been affected by a young person going to jail? And he asked various questions, which his questions included everyone wind up standing up. It was interesting, very heartbreaking, but it was very interesting and it was very enlightening. As Mr. Bibb said, we're here to enlighten and also to empower. So that event took place last Tuesday at Olivet Institutional Baptist Church, and I'm sure there's going to be more information about it coming forward.
Dr. Gwen Jarvis, would you share with us some of the professionals were there giving testimony?
Well, we had the head of we had a person from the prosecutor's office. We had a lady there. There was a lady on the panel who takes care of juveniles going into the system. There also was a person there from Columbus where she was talking about the things that she shared with the audience, those in attendance there, how in Franklin County, how they're handling it, and these kids who are being bind over. There was also the lady there from, legal aid, that was there and talked about having a program that deal with students who are being bind over. But one interesting thing that I thought that she said that a lot of these happens to these young people is the fact that they need attorneys, but a lot of times they get bind over because they don't have the right representation, and because representation they go after is too costly. And she urged, if any attorneys was listening, if they kind of reduce their costs to work with these young people. So it was a lot of deep information.
Let me ask you another question now, Doc. I'm told that Cuyahoga County turned over more people than any other county.
Absolutely. That's what she said. That's exactly what the panel said, and even the young man who was a success story. Yes, Cuyahoga County, and I can't remember the number of students.
I'm also told that the four largest county, Reverend, combined, don't turn over as many as Cuyahoga County.
That's right.
Wow.
Is that true?
Yes, that's what was stated. Yeah.
Franklin County, Hamilton County, Summit County, and Luca County all added up together.
Right.
Don't turn over as many, bind over as many as Cuyahoga County.
Astonishing.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm also told that 91% of the people turn over are African Americans.
Yes. 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 And a lot of it, they alluded to not having the proper.
No, don't analyze it. We're just doing that.
Okay.
What happened at Olivet last week. So, Olivet will be doing another one of these hearings and getting it updated. We, at the podcast, people get ready to podcast, we will be dealing with the state of Ohio.
All right.
And GCC is dealing with Cuyahoga County. But this originated in the State House. The reason we have this law. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good job.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And the next portion is yours also. Would you go right ahead, please?
Yes, the section that I am responsible for is to know your government. And that's something, to me, is very important, because knowing your government includes election voting. And I'm a big advocate about people voting and being able to read the information, the candidates and so forth, and everything else that goes along with the government. We have an opportunity today of having a representative from our county commissioner, Michael O'Malley of Cuyahoga County, a representative, and she's well equipped and prepared to share with us information that a lot of people are not aware of that we have in our community. And there's 24 of them across the United States of America, and it's called Conviction Integrity Unit. At this time, I would like to introduce to everyone on the podcast, Facebook, or however you listen to us, to Mary McGrath. How are you, Mary?
I'm doing well, thank you.
And thanks for spending this time with us.
Oh, thanks for inviting me.
If you would share with us what the Conviction Integrity Unit is.
The Conviction Integrity Unit is a unit unto itself. And how it works is that we receive applications probably 99.9% of the time from the inmates themselves who are not represented by attorneys. And they have to fill out 2 forms to apply to our unit, an application and a limited agreement saying they will cooperate with this. And in their application, they are to put why they believe they were wrongfully convicted, if they have new evidence, anything that they feel they want us to look into, if something has changed over the decades, testing, DNA testing, other types of testing, if they want us to look into that, they put that in their application and they send it in. Those applications are then reviewed and they're investigated, and then I discuss them with Michael O'Malley.
Okay, all right. How long do they have to be? Is it people who are they already incarcerated, or they're in the process of being incarcerated?
They have
They
have to already be convicted, because the basis of their application for the most part is, I was wrongfully convicted and here's why. So yes, they already have to be convicted, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I get applications from people who've been convicted in the 80s all the way up to the current time. And I have to say, I'm very proud of our unit, because we have what I consider to be an excellent success rate. In fact, today I did some statistics, and I found that we grant relief so much more often than even the Ohio Innocence Project, who gets a lot more applications than we do. And our Conviction Integrity Unit grants relief in 4.7% of the applications we receive. The Ohio Innocence Project grants relief or releases people in less than 1/3 of 1% of the applications that they receive. So I'm proud of our success, and I'm proud of the work that we do. And it just is a little, I can back up a little bit. When I say grant relief, we do everything or anything that we consider is appropriate for that particular case, which ranges from granting judicial release all the way up to full exoneration and the case is sealed. And we look at everything, convictions, whether they were convicted by a jury trial or by a judge, and we also review the cases where someone pled guilty, because I think until you look at it, you really don't know what that person's claim is, whether they pled guilty and admitted their guilt or not. So we look at everything.
Okay. Well, as a woman, my question is, do women submit applications for this unit, to this unit?
They do. Far fewer women than men. But I can think of about 5 women off the top of my head who have submitted applications. Yes.
Okay. How long does the process take?
It varies. I'm working on a backlog, and I'm proud to say that I only have 3 cases left from 2021. I've completed some of the cases from 2022. Some of the cases from 2021 are a little more in-depth and are going to take a little more time. So they can take anywhere, honestly, from maybe 6 months, even up to a year sometimes.
Okay. All right. You have a question?
Yes. The people who have been convicted, how do they know your department exists?
Well, I'm hoping that we're getting the word out. Also, our conviction integrity unit is listed on the prosecutor's website. And if you go to the website, we have a page explaining the conviction integrity unit. And at the bottom, people can click on and find our forms and print them off right then and there. The forms are available online, or if you want to write to me, I'm more than happy to print out the forms and mail them to someone. But I've done a little bit of CLE work, a little bit of work on the outside. So I can think of one class I addressed. So trying to get the word out that way. And actually, I think I need to do a better job of it too. And I've actually talked to someone today about doing some more CLEs to kind of spread the word a little bit more.
Follow-up question.
Yes.
How many people work in your department?
Right now, it's just me. And I have an assistant, if I need one, who helps me. And I have a part-time investigator. But what my option is, I can reach out to other people in the office for assistance, which I regularly do. There was another prosecutor who was working in this unit, and he has retained some cases and still works on them. But I'm free to reach out to others, generally the supervisors, for some guidance and for some assistance.
Okay, so let me make sure. Reverend Fair, we're the largest county in the state. This department got 1 employee, and they don't have a way to get to the community where I live, where only 1/3 of the people have computers. So if a person don't have a computer, how do they find out about you?
Well, I'm hoping from maybe community members. And if I may just give you a slight correction, we do not accept convictions from everyone statewide. We only
County.
I'm
County.
sorry.
I'm only
Just
talking
from
about county.
We only accept applications from those persons convicted in Cuyahoga County. And
right,
the reason,
I'm clear on that.
okay, all right. I thought you said the state.
Yeah. If they don't find it, if they don't have computers, how do they find out about you?
Well, I'm hoping from community members that the word has spread. And I hear from inmates very frequently. I get lots of phone calls and lots of letters, because I think that the Conviction Integrity Unit in Cuyahoga County is fairly well known within the prison system. That's where I am. That's the majority of the people who reach out to me are inmates or family members. I believe the word has spread through the institution.
Well, that was going to be my question. How do they find out about it? So those who are already incarcerated.
I wasn't finished.
Huh?
I wasn't finished.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was letting her finish.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay, Mr. Bibb.
I have a suggestion that we have one of the best library systems in Cuyahoga County. Cuyahoga County Library System and the Cleveland Library System and the #1 library system, East Cleveland Library, who won 4 stars, that we find a way to get that information so they will know, because most of your clients come from Cleveland and East Cleveland, and we want them to get everything that's available for them. This is tax paid. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I think that's a great idea.
All right. But take a note on that also. That's Gwen Jarvis,
Okay.
what I just said.
Yes.
And Reverend Ben Fair, do you have any questions?
Yes.
Then we'll come back to Doc.
Yes. Thank you for coming on, Ms. Mary. The question I have for you is, how long do a person have to be convicted before they can apply for your program?
There is no waiting period or set time period. They can apply immediately. And that has happened. I get applications from some individuals who have been very recently convicted and say, this is why I feel I was wrongly convicted. Here's what happened at my trial, or something to that effect. But I think that the majority of the applications I receive are probably from people who have been convicted usually decades ago, who did not have available to them things like DNA testing and other testing matters like that. So there is no set time period. We're open to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Aaron. My question is, is this something that the judges would recommend in sentencing a person?
Probably not. That's a really good question. I'd never thought about that. But at the time of sentencing, individuals are advised of their appellate rights. And generally, what we ask is that a convicted person pursue their appellate rights first. Let the court examine what happened at the trial court level. And if there's error, then go back to the trial court level and have that error corrected. We generally get applications from people who have already gone through the appellate process and have had the issues resolved already by a court of law. Okay. So no, they are not advised of this at the time of sentencing.
All right. Thank you very much. And how would you wrap up for us so that our listening audience can understand the Conviction Integrity Unit in closing?
The Conviction Integrity Unit is an avenue for convicted individuals to have someone review their conviction that is not constrained by some of the court rules and court statutes. Sometimes when someone wants to file, for example, a motion for new trial, there's all kinds of court rules that you have to abide by. Your information has to be recent. You have to bring it up within a certain amount of time. We're wide open. So whatever an individual feels that they are wrongfully convicted for whatever reason, we don't put any time constraints on it. We don't put anything on it. Then come to us, fill out an application. Let me know what you're thinking, why you think something went wrong, and we'll look at it. We don't, since we're not, we're not governed by any kind of Ohio rules, or this is a unit that doesn't have to exist. It's not required. It means we're kind of free to do more of an investigation without strict technical requirements.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, and thank you very much for your time, and thank our county prosecutor, Michael O'Malley, for sharing you with us this evening. And you're
Thank you.
welcome back to the podcast at any time.
Thank you.
People get
Thank you
ready.
so much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
I want to
Thank
thank
you.
you also.
You too.
And you're well informed of what you're doing, and we look forward to having you back again.
Thank you, sir. I would love to come back.
All right,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
All right. Reverend Ben Fair,
Yes, sir.
the world has been shaken this week.
Mm-hmm.
We call him the $100 billion man. Dr. Gwen Jarvis,
Yes.
the $100 billion man
Mm-hmm.
is in jail in the Bahamas. And they wrote a little piece about him, and they showed him on TV, and the United States government did a press conference about him. And Reverend Ben Fair was able to get the information from the press conference. And Reverend Ben Fair would just show that with our share that with our viewing audience and listening audience.
Yes, sir, Mr. Bibbs.
Go right ahead.
Yes, the FTX Arena logo is seen where the Miami Heat basketball team plays on November the 12th, 2022 in Miami. The former CEO of failed crypto firm FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, has been arrested in the Bahamas at the request of the U.S. government. The U.S. Attorney Office in New York City said Monday, December the 12th. New York City, the U.S. Security Exchange Commission has charged the former CEO of failed cryptocurrency firm FTX with orchestrating a scheme to defraud investors. Bankman-Fried was arrested on Monday in the Bahamas at the request of the U.S. government, and the U.S. Bahamian authorities said. An SEC complaint filed Tuesday alleges that Sam Bankman-Fried raised more than $1.8 billion from equity investors since May of 2019 by promoting FTX as a safe, responsible platform for trading crypto assets. The civil complaint says Bankman-Fried diverted customers' funds to Alameda Research LLC, his private held crypto fund, without telling them. The complaint also says Bankman-Fried commingled FTX customer funds at Alameda to make undisclosed venture investments, lavish real estate purchases, and large political donation. Bankman-Fried placed billions of dollars of FTX customer funds into Alameda. He then used Alameda as his personal piggy bank to buy luxurious condominiums, supported political campaigns, and made private investments. Among users, the complaints read, none of this was disclosed to the FTX equity investors or to the platform trader customers. So there you have it, Mr. Bibbs. This gentleman here, Sam Bankman-Fried, he raised $1.8 billion from equity investors since 2019, and he defrauded them and used that money for his own personal use instead of investing the money to make it grow for his investors. So now the investors are now holding the bag from this gentleman who defrauded them.
All right. Thank you, Reverend Ben Fair.
Yes, sir.
Now, an update on that. He's in jail in the Bahamas, and the national news say that he's going to fight coming back to the United States. So they're going to have a little problem getting him back to the States. So we'll be watching that, and if you can keep up with that, and we'll give a report on it next week on where
Yes,
it
sir.
stands and with his operation.
Yes, sir,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Bibbs.
Thank you very kindly.
You're welcome.
And Miss Candace Jones, we're going to be going to her next because this past week, Miss Gwen Jarvis, we had our own bind-over meeting, which I said earlier that we're working on the statewide, not just Cuyahoga County, on stopping this bind-over. So, Miss Candace Jones, are you in the house? Miss Candace Jones, would you get the
Yes,
chance
I
to
am.
get her?
I'm here.
Yes, would you share with us what happened last Saturday at the Martin Luther King Jr. Library in University Circle so far as the bind-over statewide meeting? Thank you.
Okay, we had a group of people that met to talk about the youth bind-over. For those that were at the the event at Olivet Baptist Church, this was more of a continuing and expanding of that topic, the youth bind-over. And we had one of the state representative-elect, Elliot Forehand, was there. He is the newly elected state representative for District 21, and a few other concerned and resources as well. But the topic was why is there discretionary bind over? How can we stop it from happening? What do we need to do to stop it from happening? And there's some events coming up that at the GCC event that will have some task force getting together. But as Mr. Bibb mentioned, GCC is focusing on Cuyahoga County, and the podcast crew and task force is focusing more on statewide. But it's the same, excuse me, it's the same problem, bindovers of youth. There's too many going on. As Dr. Jarvis mentioned, Cuyahoga County has the most bindovers out of all of the counties in the state of Ohio. But we need to put a stop to the discretionary bindover. And so we're going to have more discussions on that. There was great discussions on Saturday, the 10th, and I look forward to having future talks and collaboration with other resources as well on moving forward with this task.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Candace Jones. And we'll come back to you a little later, give you a chance to clear your throat up and everything. And we'll talk a little bit about what's going on in the city of Cleveland. In the city of Cleveland, in Ward 7, petitions are being circulated to recall Councilwoman Stephanie House. So they turn in the petitions to the clerk of city council, Dr. Jarvis, and Reverend Ben Fair, and listening audience, viewing audience. But I'm told they didn't have enough signatures. So as of today, the city of Cleveland's charter allow you to go back out and get additional petitions. And they give you so many days to do that. And they are in the midst of gathering signatures for the second time. And then if they get enough this next time, by the time we meet next week, we'll let you know if they have enough or did they turn those in yet. But the first time they turned in the petitions, they didn't have enough good signatures to move the proposition forward to City Council of Cleveland. So the petitioners have to go back and get additional signatures. And they got so many days to do that. And probably the rest of this month, December of 2022. But we'll be watching it, and we'll give the audience a report on it next week, what's going on in Cleveland, Ward 7, recall petitions. Any questions, Reverend? Dr. Jarvis?
No questions.
No questions.
Okay, that's very good. And the other piece, James Jerome Bell, who was not able to be here today. He's ill and he'll be back next week, prayerfully. The National Democratic Committee is meeting this week in Washington, D.C. to change the order of primaries in 2024 for the presidential election. Most of you know that the early primary states are the state of Iowa and New Hampshire. President Biden wants to change the order so that we have more diverse states up front, like South Carolina on the East Coast and Las Vegas on the West, who reflect more of the America than the two first states that we've been doing for many, many years, who have about 1 or 2% African Americans in those states. And so that's what it is now. And it want to go South Carolina, Las Vegas, Georgia, Michigan, then the others, Iowa and New Hampshire, in with that group. Before all of these, they want to do these before we do Super Tuesday. So stay tuned to that. And James Jerome Bell, perhaps you can continue to work on that and give us a report next week. We will really appreciate it. And Reverend Ben Fair,
Yes, sir.
have you heard anything from the Redistricting Commission?
No, Mr. Bill, we haven't had any updates on the redistricting commission. They are not meeting as of yet.
Okay,
Not meeting as of yet. So
all right.
still in recess.
Will you bring our audience what they're supposed to be doing up to date so the audience who don't know what we're talking about, what they're supposed to be doing?
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be updating the maps. So they're supposed to be updating the maps, Mr. Bibb. So
The maps?
yeah,
What?
for the districts, in Ohio.
All right. And what Reverend is sharing with our audience, they're updating the maps for the congressional districts of Ohio, for the state senate districts, and the state rep districts. Because Jarvis,
Yes.
the district that we just voted in, they're no more, they're gone. So the next time they'll have all new districts. Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
And coming up soon, Dr. Jarvis, I'm told that there's some candidates running for judge of Cleveland. You're a Cleveland voter. Have you heard anything about any of the candidates, or you know of any that's running?
I've heard about a couple of people, but I don't want to mention who it is. But I've heard a
Have
couple
they
of people.
spoke publicly?
No,
You haven't heard publicly?
no, I haven't heard it publicly.
Well,
I just no.
I've heard publicly.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Former Councilman T.J. Dow spoke before Nan Monday, and Jeff Johnson spoke before Nan Monday. And you and Reverend Ben Fair are members of Nan, but you wasn't there Monday.
Yeah, but those are the two that I know of.
Yeah, but
Those are the
they spoke publicly. So so once
Okay.
they speak publicly,
okay. I didn't know they had spoke publicly.
yeah,
but
they
I know.
circulating the petitions.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but you wasn't there. So I just wanted to,
Okay.
we try to keep everybody informed of what's going on and that kind of a thing. Now,
So, Mr. Bibb,
Sharon Pittman's on.
go right ahead.
you said those are two that are going to be, what are they going to be running for? Who are they candidates for? What position?
I'm gonna let Dr. Gwen Jarvis share that with you.
They're running for judge
You gotta tell where and all like that. What city?
for Cleveland judge. I don't know what
That's
for Cleveland judges. They're running to be Cleveland judges. McDowell and T.J. Dow and Jeff Johnson. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
City of Cleveland,
Yes.
and that race is 10 months away. Well, 11 months away. Because there's no primary. It's winner take all in November. And there are 3 vacant seats. And there are 3 seats where judges are running for re-election. And would you, Dr. Gwen Jarvis, check that the board of election, make sure that's correct for next week, please?
Okay.
Thank you very
All
kindly.
right.
Ms. Candace Jones,
Sharon Pittman's on.
Yes.
would you share with us the Martin Luther King Jr. weekend?
Okay. So Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday is actually January 15th. The holiday is celebrated on January the 16th. There will be birthday celebrations for Dr. Martin Luther King that will take place on Saturday, January the 14th, 2023. Starting at the East Cleveland Public Library, there will be a march going to Starlight Baptist Church, where there will be a service and a luncheon that will be held as well. There will also be product distribution, free product distribution that will be held also, all in celebration of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. That will be held Saturday, January 14th, 2023, starting at 11 a.m., kicking off at East Cleveland Public Library.
All right, thank you very kindly. And Pastor James, we have breaking news coming live straight from the heart of Cleveland from Mayor Justin Bibb's First Day party. Miss Sharon Penman, are you in the house? Miss Sharon Penman, are you in the house?
She left.
Oh, okay. She left.
When did she get on the phone?
She was on.
Did you give it to me as soon as she was on?
Yeah, he just told me. She had already tried to speak up.
Miss Candace Jones,
Maybe she'll come back.
Yes.
try to find Miss Sharon Penman, please, and tell her we're waiting on the note got to me a little late, but we'll try to find her, please. Is Miss
Okay.
Joanne Holly on the phone?
Yes, I am.
See, she's not on my note.
Who?
Joanne Holly.
Yeah, she's on.
Yeah.
She spoke
You
up.
gotta give it to me.
Yes,
You can't
I
put it on.
am.
Yeah, you gotta give it to me.
She's on.
Joanne Holly
Yes, I do. Am I on
and
mute?
Michael J. Calhoun.
Yeah, they're on.
Joanne Holly and Michael J. Calhoun.
Can you hear me?
Now, can't have Michael J. Calhoun.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
We
I'm
were at a
switching.
wonderful event this past Sunday in the heart of the fabulous city of Cleveland. And I wanted you to share with our audience what happened in the Midtown corridor next to that brand new Hilton Hotel. Go right ahead.
Joanne, you can start it off.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and across the world. I have the pleasure of introducing to you a gentleman that I have a lot of respect for. He is an R&B and gospel recording artist, Grammy Award winner, and founding member of the Grammy Award winning group, the Daz Band, and an amazing guitarist in his own right. He's going to share some powerful information with you. Back to you, Mr. Michael J. Calhoun.
Yes, this is my pleasure to be with you here. To God be the glory. I want to thank you, Mr. Bibb and Miss Holly, for inviting me to such a prestigious event. I got a call today from Mr. Ron Fuqua thanking me for attending and networking with them. And there were lots of distinguished guests from all parts of the country. And like I said, thank you so much, Mr. Bibb, for inviting me there. Made some great connections. Hopefully, this thing will be realized in the next year to come, a new Leo's Casino complex. We don't own any, as Black people, meaning we, any property or any businesses on Euclid Avenue downtown. We don't. And it's time that we do. So if we put enough heads together, Black and white, and money together, green, we can have that as something to look forward to, just the same way we look at the Rock Hall and other buildings and you know, places that speak of Cleveland and the things that we have to offer, the talent and the know-how, the genius that we have of the city. There are lots of geniuses that come out of the city. And Leo's Casino is an institution, and it should draw a lot of people when they come into town to Leo's because of its history. So I don't want to take too much time up, but I want to thank you again, Mr. Bibb and Ms. Holly.
Okay, Mr. Michael J. Calhoun, I want to thank you because I appreciate you bringing out, and I wish Reverend Fair could have been there and Dr. Gwen Jarvis, because they just like me. They hadn't seen a Grammy up live. Tell us about your Grammy and tell me about who you took a picture with your Grammy, who deserved it from Cleveland.
Oh yeah, Mr. Ted Ginn. Yeah, I got the Grammy for co-writing the B-side of Let It Whip. That was the Grammy Award-winning song. And I performed on the album. I wrote on the album. I was a part of a great band that's going down the history. It's one of the biggest funk bands, R&B bands of all time. But I met quite a few people there. John Gorman from WMMS was there. Met him, Greg Anthony, Dr.
Excuse me a minute, Mr. Michael Calhoun.
Hello?
Reverend Ben Fair don't know who Ted Gwynn is and what he did last week. So maybe
Ted Gwynn, yeah. He got us the first state championship, the Glenville Tarblooders, in the history of Cleveland, Ohio, period. we got it. We got it. We won the championship, the state championship, first time ever. Mr. Ted Ginn Sr. I told him that I was in the opening class of Margaret Spellacy in 1970. And it's now the Ted Ginn Academy. And he changes men's lives. He changes from boys to men, not just athletically, but mentally. He's a great coach, and it was an honor to meet him, and I wouldn't have met him if you hadn't invited me there, Mr. Bibb. I appreciate it and hope to contribute my musical talents to the project.
All right, we appreciate you coming out and being a part of that activity. And Miss Joanne Holly,
Yes, sir.
about 4 years ago, New Year's Eve, Miss Candace Jones and you and I shared New Year's Eve together out in Pepper Pike at a big event. Share with the living audience who was the live band there.
Which event was this, Mr. Bibb?
Who was the live band at the event Sunday?
Oh, it was I don't remember what was his name.
All right. That was Mr. Wheat's band.
Oh, see, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Fred
That's-
Wheat.
Yeah, Fred Wheat.
Okay.
That was live band Reverend in Midtown.
Mm-hmm.
And did they play?
All right.
It was an outstanding event. And I'm looking forward to working with this group. And I was glad to have the People Get Ready podcast there working with them. So I think we're going to have something said coming up in the future that we're going to really be proud of.
Oh, great.
And Dr. Good Jarvis, they had just about put all the plan together for Midtown, and they hadn't put the real flavor in there called African American.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's hard to imagine they were doing it without, but we were able to get it back in there.
Right.
That's great, Mr. Bibb.
That's good.
Yeah, very good, very good. And all up and down Euclid, where Pastor James's other studio is, all that's going to be really, really nice. And I like it. It's not talked about. It's being worked on as we speak.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to thank you, Michael J. Calhoun and Miss Joanne Holly, for being available. And we're looking forward for the next one because they're going to get more frequent and larger each time we do them. Thank you for coming on the podcast and have a nice evening. Won't
You
both?
too. Thank you very much. I'm honored to meet
Okay.
you.
Thank you, Mr. Bibb.
Thank you,
All
Mr.
right.
Bibb. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Miss Candace, was you able to find the Sharon Penman?
No, I wasn't.
If you can, try to find her. And Reverend,
Yes, sir.
share with our audience the giveaways. Some people who need some things coming up for Christmas holidays. And we're in the middle of giving away good things. And people don't know about them. Share with us what's being given away in the community, would you?
Will do, Mr. Bibbs. The Union Mouse Development Corporation would like to invite you, everyone, to the Christmas grand opening of our Youth and Future, okay? And so the doors will be open at 4 p.m. on Friday, December the 23rd, 2022. We hope to see you all there. It is the JB's Lunch and Literacy presents an annual toy giveaway and grand opening of our Youth, Our Future. Tour our new facility with children receiving over 300 toys and gifts until they're gone. meet our staff, sign up for the programs, take family pictures, and receive a gift for all children present. So the Union Miles Development Corporation is giving away toys on December the 23rd, and it starts at 4 p.m., Mr. Bibbs.
Yeah, would you give that address again, Reverend? Because that's quite a giveaway, and we don't want anybody to miss it who can make it.
Okay. Let's see the address. I gotta pull that address up for you, Mr. Bibbs, because it's not on here.
9250.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The address is 9250 Miles Park Drive, Cleveland, Ohio 44105. And the event is from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. All one gift per child. And that's 9250 Miles Park Drive, Cleveland, Ohio 44105.
Okay, those who may have a little problem, give us a little direction. You and I have talked about it, where that's located.
Yeah, actually, it's located off of Harvard Avenue.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Harvard and what?
It's about Harvard and 71st.
Thank you. All right, good job. That's good job. Are you aware of any giveaways, anything?
No, and not at this time, sir.
Okay.
No.
So what we will do, Ms. Candace Jones,
Yes.
Okay.
the event is in Euclid. What's the date of your event in Euclid?
Our Euclid Democratic Club holiday event is tomorrow, December the 15th, 7 p.m. at the Whistle Stop Tavern. This is our normal meeting time, 7 p.m., third Thursday of the month. So we'll be meeting at the Whistle Stop instead of at the Euclid Public Library. So we're going to have a 50-50 raffle, a contest for the most festive dress, and lots of fun, food, and fellowship.
All right. And I think, did you mention, are you asked to bring something to give away or something?
Yeah, bring a non-perishable food item to be donated to the Euclid Hunger Center, or a donation for a pets that will be donated to the Euclid Animal Shelter.
Oh, the Euclid Animal Shelter?
Yes,
Oh, very good.
Euclid has a hunger center and an animal shelter.
Oh, okay, very good. Thank you. And if you have one more thing before you go on, before we close out, did anybody want to get any paparazzi jewelry or anything? Would you share that with us? How we can, I can do my Christmas shopping, but I want to buy Miss Dr. Gwen Jarvis, a Christmas present. Tell me about the paparazzi jewelry, please.
If you're still looking for that, something to give someone for Christmas or any time, I have a paparazzi website that you can go to. It's www.shop, S-H-O-P, with W-I-T-H, MEFOR, bling, BLING.com. www.shopwithmeforbling.com. You can go on there and view the products that are available. There's necklaces. All the necklaces come with matching earrings. There's bracelets, there's rings, lots of choices and lots of colors to choose from. So go out and take a look of what's available. You can purchase online, and it will be sent directly to you. Again, that's www.shopwithmeforbling.com.
All right, very good. Like I told the young lady from the county prosecutor's office, I won't be able to go to the website. Is there a number that I can call to get some product or something?
Yes, you can give me a call at 216-570-4738, and I'll be happy to help you. I do have some
All
products
right.
here.
Thank you. You can do your Christmas shopping, Reverend Fair. And we got everything, and we thank our listening audience tonight. We hope we brought you some information and everything that you can use, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Feel better.